Hey everyone, it's Eric G from Around the House. I'm teaming up with Cam Anderson, the epoxy live edge master from Blacktail Studio, for his biggest project yet, a full home remodeling on his stunning Blacktail Ranch. We're talking about this charming but dated farmhouse, from lead paint chic to a modern functional dream home, structural fixes, smart layouts, custom woodworking flair, real budgets, hiccups, pro tips, all documented step by step. If you're a Blacktail fan or love epic renovations, this is your series. Head to my YouTube channel right now, search Around the House Eric G, subscribe, and check out the Blacktail Ranch playlist. Cam's intro video is live, and a fresh episode will be dropping very soon. Don't miss this transformation and subscribe today. With Eric G, where we talk home improvement for 2 hours here on this glorious afternoon. Beautiful day here in the Pacific Northwest, all over the Radio Northwest network. So thanks to all you guys listening out in the Tri-Cities, Bend, down on the south coast of Oregon here, even out Baker City Enterprise. We appreciate all of you. Coming up in the second segment here of the show, we will be giving away another 30 seconds outdoor cleaners. So make sure and stick with that one today, because unfortunately, guys, that, like we say, has to be happening here to the local Portland area. So you will have to pick that up. And that's just kind of the rules we got to work with. But we've got an exciting show today. And what I mean by exciting show is we've got Robin Daly coming on here. She is one of the Northwest's leading paint experts, and we're going to talk to her here in just a second, because we talk about paint, we talk about color, but I wanted to bring somebody on. And, you know, Robin, welcome to Around the House, but you know how we make new designers, right? We take Robin Daly down to the Red Cross and she donates blood.
What is that? What are you talking about?
I'm talking about, you are one of the best known designers here in the Pacific Northwest, and you are color.
I am color, absolutely color. Color drives everything. You know, it's on your walls, it's the color of your carpet, it's in your countertops, your upholstery, what colors you put in the plantings around your house. It affects pretty much everything having to do with being around the house.
It's awesome. It can change your mood. It can relax you. It can anger you. There's so many things with color it can do.
So, you know, when you walk into a place and you go, oh my gosh, this room feels so good. Mm-hmm. You don't say, oh, that color on the wall looks so good, but it helps to create a feeling. And we want to use color to help us feel good in our home.
Exactly. And so, Robin, I want to get everybody up to speed on you. So you've got Robin Daly Color and Design, which is your own little thing, but you have taken on a brand new project, which I love. Let's talk about the paint laboratory.
Okay. I am so excited. As of about 2 weeks ago, I am the CEO of this company called the Paint Laboratory. And what it is, it's this stunning line. It's two things. It's this beautiful line of paint created by a high-end interior designer. Mm-hmm. His name is Rocky Roshan, and he has created a designer line of paint that is accessible to all of us.
Nice.
So there's not a snobbery around the colors, but all the colors work. So there's no superfluous colors that we don't need to look at when you go to the paint store, or you get one of those things called a fan deck that has all the colors on it.
Yep.
It can be overwhelming when you look at just this wide variety of colors, but 3/4 of them you'll never use in your house.
Amen.
So they look really pretty on the wall, or you might create these really crazy blues or crazy pinks for, let's say, a hair salon or a bar or someplace where it's a special use. But when it comes to picking out paint colors for your home, you don't need to edit those out if you're working with a pre-curated set of colors. And these colors are really pretty, and they're shown to you in a stepped system. So there's basically 50 main colors, but each color has 8 versions of that color. So
okay, now I'm geeking out. I love that.
There's a dark one all the way to a light version. It's all the same color, just different strengths of color.
Awesome.
Does that make sense?
It does.
So when you're, I was just doing a color consultation this morning, and we decided that the entryway should feel a little more intimate. So we picked a slightly richer version of the main wall color, which was lighter. So when you have a stepped system, it's really simple to get in there and to find those right hues that work. And they all make really good friends with each other. So of those 50 main colors, you can pick out colors from, the other tones. You could have a green gray and a blue gray, and they all look really beautiful together.
I don't know how many times. Yeah, I don't know how many times I have grabbed a fan deck and I'm like, that's too strong for what I want to use it for. But if I could just dial that back a little bit, and then that color doesn't exist in the fan deck, and you're like, do I really want to go through and
thought of these colors? Like, they really think that would look good in my house. So when you start working with a palette that was created by an interior designer, they've already done the thinking, right? They've dealt with that their whole career, and Rocky solved a problem, which is too many ugly colors.
There's a hashtag in there someplace. I love that.
So you get rid of the ugly colors and you make the beautiful one. Now, the paint laboratory is this really neat place because it doesn't feel like a regular grimy, gritty paint store. The people that work behind the counter, they're colorists, and they will create custom colors for you. But the way they do it is all by hand. They have the computer too, that's kind of a nice little tool, but that's not how we make color. And they make the color recipes complex so that there's many different pigments that go into every single color.
Nice.
And then we can go, there's more. So then if you wanted to have a metallic paint, let's say you wanted to paint the ceiling in your dining room, we can do it in any color. It's not just these pre-made colors, but in any of those designer stepped tones, we can make it a metallic, or we could do it in a suede or a Venetian plaster. So it just gives you a lot of flexibility and beauty.
Nice. So you're not stuck with the 6 metallics that you get out of a paint line A at the Home Improvement Center. You can sit there and go,
that's right,
I kind of want something to match my Mercedes-Benz color over here, and that way I can get, because I will love that color, so you can go that route.
That's right. So again, solving a problem where you want to bring in a design element into your home, but you're not limited.
That is awesome. Well, we're going to go out to break here, Robin. I want you to stick around. We're going to sit here and tease about this for the next segment, because next segment, I want to talk about what makes good paint. Can we talk about that?
Ooh.
All right. When we come back here, Robin, sit tight. We come back, we're going to talk more about paint with a paint expert, Robin Daly, just as soon as Around the House returns.
This whole house is getting shaky. This whole house is getting old. This whole house has seen the rain. This whole house has seen the cold.
to Around the House with Eric G. This is where we talk home improvement each Saturday from noon to 2. Thanks for joining us. You know, this segment is brought to you by Western Construction Systems. Is a cracked or crumbling foundation killing your real estate deal? For a free inspection, contact Western Construction Systems because the integrity of your foundation is their specialty guaranteed. And that's CCB number 94222. Well, you know what time it is. It is that time where we give away some 30 seconds outdoor cleaner. Now, you're going to have to come to the studio and pick up the certificate. So if you don't have a way to get in here, you're listening to us in Baker City or Tri-Cities or Bend. If you're not going to be here anytime soon, probably not going to do you much good. But here's the thing. So we're going to give away a 64-ounce hose and attachment of 30 seconds outdoor cleaner. This is cool. This can easily reach that second story. So if you're out there on this beautiful day thinking about doing that spring cleaning, this is what you need to do. We're going to go caller number 10 at 503-733-4101. Caller number 10, 503-733-4101. And that's going to get you a certificate for 64 ounces of 30 seconds outdoor cleaner hose and attachment. All right, now we'll let Donovan sit there, who's got a birthday this week. Happy birthday, man. We're going to let you answer the phones. All right, let's go out back to Robin Daly, who is our paint expert here today. Thanks for coming on the show today.
Well, I'm kind of excited now to find out who's going to win the cleaner. Isn't that funny?
It's awesome. So, yeah, they're a local company here. They're all over everywhere, but those guys are great helping out with our show. We always appreciate it. So
well, after the kind of wet winter we've all been having, I'm sure it'll come in really handy.
No kidding. Now that we're getting some sun, we're kind of getting out of this, and it's great timing to have you on talking about paint today because sunshine makes the paint just so much better.
It does, and, you know, I've been noticing all the cobwebs inside my house and the dinginess of my walls. Right now is the time when a lot of people are looking outside, and they're thinking that it's time to get bids to call the house painter because they want to get their house painted. And interestingly enough, it's almost too late.
Yeah.
So if you're thinking about getting the house painted this summer, get on the horn right now because some of the painters that I know are already booked into August.
Wow. That's, you know, there's such a window here in the Northwest of being able to successfully paint outside, you know, without ruining the paint and not having things stick and, you know, problems like that. So
That's right.
Well, if you're just joining us, we're talking here with Robin Daly from the Paint Laboratory, which I wanted to talk a little bit in this segment about what makes good paint. So many people out there just know to go down to their local paint store, home improvement center, and they think paint is paint. And that's such a misnomer because paint isn't paint. And I get people that are on a budget and they can only afford to do so much. But let's talk about what good paint is.
When you think about paint, think about good, better, best.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're budgeting for paint, always aim for better to best. So when you pick up a bucket of paint, good paint will feel like 7 or 8 pounds. Better and best paint can be 10 to 12 pounds for that gallon of paint.
Okay.
Why is that? Why would it weigh more? Well, it has more solids in it. So when you paint the outside of your house or you paint the inside of your walls, once the moisture evaporates, you're left with a more durable, thicker film.
That makes sense.
You have more solids.
Yeah, that makes good sense. And by the way, I just want to let you know that we have a winner, Pete in Sherwood. Thanks for calling in and being caller number 10. So all of you can give Donovan a break a little bit now for calling in the contest line because we've given away. But next hour, we'll give away another gallon or actually another 64-ounce hose and sprayer next hour. So back to
kind
paint.
of puts a new spin on a 64-ouncer, doesn't it?
It does. I'm not going to even get into that till later in the show. After I'm done.
Okay. When you're done. Yeah.
Exactly.
Exactly. It is Saturday.
It is.
So anyway, what makes good paint? You want to have high quality solids. And nowadays that typically would be a latex acrylic blend or 100% acrylic. And those are parts of the solids, that piece that's left behind that forms your paint film.
Gotcha.
Then there's another ingredient that goes into paint that we call resins. Those are the ingredients, the raw materials that give your paint the feeling, the hand, when you rub your hand across the wall. It also adds durability, washability, scrubbability. And one that's really important for outside is expansion and contraction.
Yeah, no
Because
kidding.
as the weather changes, your house kind of moves a little bit, and you want your paint to be able to have some flexibility to it. Here's something kind of crazy. Think about a garbage bag, like a black garbage bag.
Okay.
And you know when you try and stick your thumb through it?
Yep.
That's how thick house paint is on the side of your house outside.
Oh, great visual.
That's what's protecting your house from the elements. So for the difference of about $10 or $15 per gallon, you want to go buy the best paint possible.
That makes good sense because it's like a cheap garbage bag. You rip the side of it out and you drop everything from it goes right through it. You get a good one and it'll take a beating.
Garbage. Yeah. So when you hire a painter, the paint part, the supplies are about 10% of the overall job.
Gotcha.
If you're doing it yourself, then of course, it's whatever you're going to budget for it.
And nobody figures their own time into this game, so it's all of the budget.
Because that would you'd be hitting that 64 ounce or a little too soon if that were the case.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's liquids in paint, there's resins and binders, and then the other one is pigments. Did you know that there's cheap pigments and good quality pigments? So the piece that we all are driven by is the color. And high-quality pigments are typically ground finer, so they're dispersed throughout the paint more evenly, and they give a more beautiful color. Like, who wouldn't want that?
Yeah. So that's how you get those deeper tones, those richer tones. And then going back on the resins, that's how you can get a flat that you can maybe hit it with a sponge and clean it without ruining it.
That's right. That's not just chalk water.
Yeah.
That we, or builder paint.
That's the worst.
Exactly.
That's the worst. I mean, and that's the bad part. We're going to have to go out to break here, and I want to touch more about this when we come back. But that's the thing. When you've got cheap products like that and you're not even a good painter, it makes it even worse. So sit tight, Robin. When we come back, we are going to dive into more paint just as soon as Around the House returns. Short time to get there. Welcome back to Around the House with Eric G. This segment Around the House is brought to you by Adair Homes, building quality custom homes throughout the Pacific Northwest for nearly 50 years. Find a design center near you at adairhomes.com. Well, if you're just joining us, you are joining a conversation that we've been having here with Robin Daly. She is with the Paint Laboratory, and we've been talking paint. And, man, I'm even learning stuff here, which I love, Robin.
Yay.
Yeah, that's awesome. So if you're just joining us, we're just talking about what quality paint is. And I love that we get into that. Now, what are your thoughts when you get into that as far as sheens these days? That's such a big thing. You walk into a store and they've got this washable flat or the ultimate flat, or how do you attack
Well,
that from the designer point of view?
Yeah. So there are some trends in regards to wall paint. The most popular sheen is still eggshell.
Interesting.
An eggshell is like looking at an egg, right? If you look on it flat on, it looks pretty matte. But if you kind of turn that egg sideways, you catch that side sheen. And that is sort of the effect on your wall as well. When you rub your hand across the wall, it doesn't give you the shivers like you would if you were rubbing your hand across a chalkboard.
Yes.
But there is a newer trend right now, and that would be like a low sheen or a matte sheen. It's in between flat and eggshell.
Nice.
Because let's face it, a lot of us live in homes that have seen a few years. And the walls might be plaster, or maybe there's been pictures taken up and put down and patches, and we fondly call that character.
Yes.
The walls aren't perfect. And when your walls have character, you put a shiny paint on the wall, it shows off everything you want to hide.
Looks like a bad paint job on your car if you went out and decided to do your own gloss paint job on the car and didn't do it right, because it shows
exactly. The higher the sheen, the more reflectancy, and the more all the divots and irregularities pop up. So the low sheen or that sort of matte finish is a nice compromise between a flat, which, all you have to do is look at it cross-eyed and you've dinged up the wall, and the eggshell. Now, flat has some real benefits. From a designer's perspective, we love flat.
Yes.
Because it's like staring into cut velvet, right? The color is just so beautiful. And there are real good times to use that. So sometimes places like living rooms, or if you don't have pets around the house and children, then you can definitely splurge on flat. Or the ceiling, because light washes across a ceiling.
Yep.
If you paint that with anything that has a sheen, then every like roll and dip in the ceiling just looks crummy. So
all of a sudden you start seeing where every rafter is up there, and they didn't have the intention of that.
That's right. Now, flat paint in the kitchen can be challenging if you throw spaghetti around. So you do want to keep that in mind.
That's where the eggshell or better kind of gets you into a better cleanable surface. Yes,
and I personally, unless you have a mold or mildew issue, I don't like satin or semi-gloss walls in the bathrooms. No. I just think it looks too institutional. I still like an eggshell. It's very washable. You can wash hairspray and cosmetics off the wall, and things that the steam might make stick to the wall just fine.
I always tell people if you're getting the water,
you're going to use that good quality paint.
There you go.
That isn't gummy. Right.
There's the key right there. And I always tell people that if you've got that water condensation kind of on the walls in there anyway, that's not a paint problem. That's a ventilation problem. You need to deal with it.
Yes, that's right. And you can't just wash the wall and paint over it, because guess what? That will travel through the paint film and show up again.
It doesn't go away. You've got to deal with it. You can't cover it up and just, I've seen that so many times. I just painted it. There's no lipstick on a pig solution.
Nope. As much as we like to avoid that, it is reality. So
it is. And I know you talk about this a lot, and I want to talk about it again. The prep work, even with high quality paint, is still the same.
It is. Right. And it can feel like a thankless job, because, wait, I'm going to all this effort to paint with primer and then I'm painting over it. But people repaint on the average of every 7 years or more. So it's not something we do very often. And putting that little bit of extra effort in at the front end is going to give you a longer time between paint jobs. So if you hired a painter every 7 years, or if you hired a painter every 10 years, you can save yourself multiple thousands of dollars by doing it right the first time.
Very true. And then what is your recommendation? We got a few minutes before we go to break again here, but what is your recommendation when people are hiring a painter? They always look at, they do great work, but so many times people miss the grade of paint they're using on your project.
That's right. So I always want my clients to get 3 different bids from independent painters, and then we want to sit down and look at them and try and compare apples to apples. And some painters give you a dashed off price. Other painters give you a very specific, broken down into steps bid, and they should call out the products they're using in the bid. And you can then go online, do a little research, and ask them about it. Like, it's okay to ask questions.
Yeah. That's so important because I've seen some really great painters out there that do great work, but to try to get the lowest bid, they end up using that lowest quality of paint, and it might look pretty good on day one, but especially on the exterior, it doesn't take long in the Northwest for that lower quality paint to start looking like lower quality paint.
Well, okay, so let's say they do, and you go and you ask them, well, what would happen if I upgraded my paint quality? And they say, well, that's going to be $15 more per gallon. Oh, how many gallons do I need? 10. Okay, so that's 100 or 20. That's $300 difference.
Nothing in the scheme of it.
It's nothing in the scheme of it, right? Do it right the first time.
Yeah, we preach that around the house all the time because it's kind of like if you go out and you're going to do it yourself and you buy a super low quality paint sprayer or you go rent a really nice one. If that quality of tool is not correct, you're going to fight it. And that's the same thing with the quality of the materials used as well. You put horrible paint in the hand of a good professional and it's not going to turn out as nice as if they use the right material for the job.
No, that is absolutely true. Good paint, here's something really interesting. Good paint, if you use like a good paint roller and a good brush or a good sprayer, will not spatter.
Nice.
So it used to be when I painted, I'd get speckles all over my skin and in my hair. But if you have good quality paint, it kind of sticks on the wall now.
You know, you're right. It's been so long. I mean, I was just painting the master bedroom just a few weeks ago. I didn't get anything on me because I used decent paint, but I'm like, no, wait a minute. You're right. When I've done other jobs, it looks like I've got salt and pepper over me from the colors of the paint splatter.
Right.
That's because it was cheap, watery paint.
Prematurely speckled, as it were. Yeah. Now, that doesn't keep people like me from getting distracted and bumping into the wall and getting a nice smear on my hair.
Exactly.
Right? And then the problem with the good quality paint is it sticks like a bullet on my hair, and I have to like drag it out of my.
Oh yeah.
So I guess you could call that a bad thing, but it's really not. It's a good thing. It's sticking well. That's right.
That's awesome. Well, let's go out to break here, Rob. When we come back, I want to get a little bit more into the details of the paint laboratory because we've got some really fun stuff, and I think he might even have an announcement of some expanded stuff there. So let's talk about that when we come back. And when we come back, we'll be taking all your calls into the next hour. But don't worry, we're going to have some fun ahead here with Robin just as soon as Around the House returns.
Right. I can help when your door jam sticks. There is nothing in the world I can't fix. Yeah, I do tiles, I do stone, I do bricks. Call me, I'll come rushing over with my bag of tricks. Where you go when your disposal is rusted. My problem making you disgusted. Yeah, when your front window is busted. Just one name that's always trusted.
Welcome back to Around the House with Eric G. This is where we talk about home improvement each week from noon to 2. We're going to be taking your calls into the next hour. And so we've got one more hour show after this, and we're going to be talking about building permits. I had a great conversation with a City of Portland building inspector this week, which was really cool, and learned some stuff that's going to be coming up, kind of a new things coming up across the Northwest and across the country. So there's a lot of new things that we need to keep an eye out for. So we'll be talking about that and taking your calls next hour. But I want to get back here to Robin Daly, my friend, and she is the CEO of the Paint Laboratory, and we've been talking paint this hour. Thanks for coming on, Robin.
Hi.
So I want to talk a little bit about, we've been talking about what good paint is, and I want to talk a little bit about in this last few minutes about the paint laboratory and what's going on with that as far as the best way to get paint. And I'm curious just to see kind of what the plans of the company are coming forward.
So the paint laboratory is very different than a traditional paint store, which is where I have spent a lot of my career. And we're growing in a different way, and I'm really excited about this. There is a paint laboratory right now in Seattle, Washington, and we just signed the lease for a new one in Beverly Hills.
Nice.
Doesn't that just sound she? And it is a designer-driven paint line. So we're really aiming to expand into markets that, and Portland would be on that list as well, expand into markets that are design-driven.
Yeah.
And so LA fits that quite nicely. There's also a nice online presence that we are going to be developing even further so that the paint laboratory paint is available anywhere.
Nice.
And you can get those colors, yes.
I'm over at your website now.
Metallic finishes.
Yeah, I'm over at the website now. It is so clean and so simple and so easy to navigate. And it's so intuitive. And that's all you people follow along. It's just thepaintlaboratory.com. But it's really clean, and you can really understand what's going on by just going to the website. And I like that.
Yes, and this is a brand new baby for me. I'm just 2 weeks into it, so we have grand plans to make it even better, and I can't wait.
Well, I remember back in your years ago, I remember you were developing your own paint line up in Seattle. And for all you people in Portland and in the Northwest here, if you recognize your last name, if you've been down if you got a family member that's a woodworker, you'll see that can of Daly stain around if you were doing some fine woodworking. That's this family here. So Robin has this stuff in her blood. And
yeah, some of us have blood in our blood. I guess I have architectural coding.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. So you come in a long history of paint colors, and so it's fun to see. I remember when you were just coming out with, I think that was that C2 line back then, back in the day.
Well, that's a national brand of paint that I had the honor to help develop, and you can find that all over the place. So that makes me really happy. And we're going to be taking the paint laboratory in a bit of a different direction, and I think it's going to be going forward in a more modern, contemporary way that takes in e-commerce. Nice.
That's going to be awesome. What are your favorite colors right now? There's so many new color trends, and we're in a big shift right now. What do you see for 2018 as some of the color direction in the Northwest?
Yeah, so I think we are still in love with white, but it's evolving a little bit. It's becoming what I call more nuanced. We are always, when color trends happen, it's often in reaction to something that has happened to us politically, socially, economically. There's many different factors that go into what colors we resonate with at a particular time. And so with the whole digitalization of images and Instagram, beautiful white walls created the perfect backdrop for photography.
Interesting.
But living with icy white walls, especially in places like the Pacific Northwest where we get to embrace gray skies, it can feel, if you're not careful, a bit cold, cool, depressing. And so we're looking for something with more nuance, and we want color that has a little more depth to it. Even if it feels white, we don't want it to be icy white. So that's something I'm seeing is we're actually taking these whites and adding some elements like umber and some warm tones to add a creamy richness to it, but not lose the feeling of light.
Awesome. Robin Daly, thank you so much for coming in. Robin Daly with the Paint Laboratory.
Hey, thanks, Eric. It was a blast.
Hey everyone, it's Eric G from Around the House. I'm teaming up with Cam Anderson, the epoxy live edge master from Blacktail Studio, for his biggest project yet, a full home remodeling on his stunning Blacktail Ranch. We're talking about this charming but dated farmhouse, from lead paint chic to a modern functional dream home. Structural fixes, smart layouts, custom woodworking flair, real budgets, hiccups, pro tips, all documented step by step. If you're a Blacktail fan or love epic renovations, this is your series. Head to my YouTube channel right now, search Around the House Eric G, subscribe, and check out the Blacktail Ranch playlist. Cam's intro video is live, and a fresh episode will be dropping very soon. Don't miss this transformation and subscribe today.